What's up, and welcome to another episode, Master Moats film session. And today, we're going to be talking about what a Matt Canada offense is going to look like. He had sprinkles of his offense in terms of his philosophies throughout last season, and they showed up a lot more at the beginning of the season, and in particular this Eagles game. So without further ado, I'm going to break down a couple of these plays where we can actually see the Matt Canada impact, things that he did when he was at LSU and at Pitt as the offensive coordinator. So one of the big components of Matt Canada's offense is the jet sweep, or at least the jet sweep motion. And he also loves a ton of shifts and motions, unbalanced sets pre-snap. Now, it's a lot of window dressing, but it always ends with a simple run play or pass play off of it, right? It's not always something crazy over the top. So right here, this play starts out, as you can see, this Al Villanueva. I'll use this right here, my teleprompter. Or telestrator, whichever one we want to call. I think it's telestrator, excuse me. Teleprompter is when you read it. So right here, you see it starts out with what? Tackle over, because this is Al, the starting left tackle, but he's at the right, he's on the right side of the line of scrimmage. He's also at the tight end position. So to just start this formation off, you have tackle over, you have unbalanced line, because now you have a tight end on the backside, okay? So as a defense, you have to adjust for this initially. Not to mention it's a 3-by-1 set. We know in 3-by-1, in terms of it being three guys over here, eligible receivers versus one over here, you adjust normally. But in this case, you don't, because Al obviously isn't an eligible receiver. He's covered up by this guy out here. And this guy, in terms of Vince McDonald, he's the eligible receiver on the backside, even with the wacky formation from an offensive line standpoint. So just right there, a ton of communication, a ton of chatter has to be happening, and a ton of thinking has to be going on. And in retrospect, not in retrospect, but on the opposite end, you see the defense, right? I started out in slow motion for you. All right. Let's see if we can get it to pop up. Oh, all right, it's not going to work for us right now. But from here, now you get more communication, more chatty, because it goes from the tackle over unbalanced set to now traditional 2-by-2, right? What I mean by 2-by-2 is this: eligible receiver, eligible receiver, eligible receiver, eligible receiver, 2-by-2. And now Al, who was lined up as the tight end over here, right? Even though he wasn't an eligible receiver, now he's back in his normal left tackle position. So not a lot of assignment having to change for the offense, but defensively, this takes a lot of communication. This takes a lot of adjusting right here, okay? So now you see, initially, the defense did what? Initially, the defense has to cheat over. Now we get this going back to regular formation. They bounce back over. LBs have to bounce back up. Now, the next part of the Matt Canada offense, the jet sweep, right? So we got Ray McCloud right here. He's giving you jet sweep motion. What does this do? It affects this guy and this guy. So 34 could try to run through here, but he's gonna have to deal with a lot of traffic, right? So they decide to play it like this in Philly. He go down here, he replace him there. Okay. But once again, you can see how many pieces on the defense have had to move, how many pieces on defense have had to communicate. And offensively, this is the only play. This is all they're going to be running right here. Just a little toss. So this play essentially ends up being what? So you got this guy here, guy right here. Or excuse me, no, they don't even block this dude. Here, here, and here. And you got Ray with the ball coming outside. Looks like it was pretty exotic in terms of how they created this play, but really all it is this. If this is Ray right here, and say you have Vince right here as the tight end, and you have a lead blocker right here, that's this guy right here. All it is just a regular toss run or a regular outside zone play. That's all it is. But the way they got to it was by doing what? Having Ray lined up in the slot, starting out with a tackle over, unbalanced, then going back to a regular balanced formation, 2-by-2 set, and you see all this communication. And the funny part is this: if this is McFarland. If McFarland's lined up right here and Ray McCloud is right here, this run probably isn't even as effective as it was right here, because the funny thing is this, with all the window dressing, they don't even block the front side DN. This guy right here, he's unblocked. He's going to come right back here untouched. But because of all of the window dressing, because of all the shifts and motions, the unbalance to balance, now this guy isn't even thinking about the basics of this play, right? Because it's just, like I said, once again, so much going on. So play starts. They don't block him. Watch what he does. He's so confused. He doesn't know if he's supposed to go down the line of scrimmage, if he's supposed to burst back outside. This is what you want right here. This is the Matt Canada impact right here. This is the Matt Canada effect. Don't block the front side guy. You don't need to. He's going to be confused as he is right here. And by not blocking him, now you pick up 1, 2, 3 on. So we say right here, it's 1. Oh, it's 1. That's 2. And that's 3, right? And who are they getting? 1, 2, 3. So now you have a hat on a hat. You're going to have Ray one-on-one with this guy downfield. That's high quality. And all it was a simple outside zone. But because of the window dressing, because of where you have Ray McCloud lined up, now you're able to make this play look like so much more. And yeah, it's still effective. And watch right here as the play progresses. Block, block. So even with them not getting 56, right, the inside linebacker, you still pick up 8-9 yards on a simple run. But if you do this without all of that pre-snap shift in motion, first off, you're not going to have the extra guy, because you're not going to have Vance not block this front side DN. He would have to pick him up. And then McFarland, if you were giving him the ball, now you're going to have a receiver, somebody over here having to block this guy. You don't get it the same way. But because of the window dressing, but because of the pre-snap shifts and motions, now you're able to do some of these things. And for McFarland right here, he has a choice. He could have blocked this guy, but he said, all right, I don't think this guy can catch me, so I'm going to go to this guy right here, which is what you're supposed to if you're a lead blocker. But as a whole, man, a ton of pre-snap movement, right? But it didn't affect the offense. The offense knew exactly what they were going to get into, but you could just see defensively, the communication. All right, we're going to slide the line this way. Oh, we're going to go back this way. Oh, all right, I'm outside. No, I'm inside. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Beautiful. This is beautiful. Now, before we continue any further with the film study, gotta tell you about my good friends over at Manscaped, because we know Manscaped, they are the leaders in below the waist grooming. So make sure you are using the awesome products that they have. In fact, that new Lawnmower 4.0, baby. I promise you, your delicate twins will be thanking you every single step of the way. Also, promo code, baby. Promo code Moats. If you use that code, you will receive up to 20% off along with free shipping. So don't waste time, baby. Make sure you are taking care of your delicate areas below the waist with Manscaped. All right, now this play right here starts out once again. Tackle over, right? Because this is Chuks Okorafor right here, who is the starting right tackle, typically on this side. And you have, obviously, Eric Ebron, the normal tight end. So what is this formation right here to start out? It's 3-by-1, right? Meaning 1, 2, 3 eligible receivers over here. And then Vance on the backside is the lone eligible receiver over there, okay? So from a pre-snap standpoint, the Eagles have to adjust. They have to first off adjust to this unbalanced set, because now this is just David DeCastro on the backside, okay? You don't have guard tackle, you have guard tight end. So you would have to adjust to that, right? Slide over to account for the extra O lineman, but understanding the eligible receiver on the backside and how that pertains to the coverage. Then from there, okay, now we go from unbalanced 3-by-1 nub in terms of it just being a single tight end on the backside to now you're going to get balanced formation, because Chuks comes back to his normal right tackle spot. But now you got 2-by-2 with a DT look on the backside. DT just means double tight ends, because you have Vance and Eric Ebron next to each other on the line of scrimmage. So from a coverage standpoint, this tells you different information. 2-by-2 versus 3-by-1, different information. From a run standpoint or a run gap standpoint from the defenders, This is different information. When it's 3-by-1, we're cheating over because we know they don't have enough guys on the backside of the formation to block us. When it's 2-by-2, now you have to play this a lot more honest. So just as subtle as that was, the movement, how much it can affect the front and the back end. Now right here, they use it to get the play action, and you'll see from the end zone copy, if the protection is a little bit better, it's actually, you got some guys that are open in this situation right here. So clear 3-by-1, right? We talked about this. Chuk's on the line of scrimmage, so he's not eligible, even though he's at the tight end position. Ebron is eligible. You can't be eligible if you're covered up, and clearly he's covered up because of Juju's right here, right? So now once we get this, you see how much movement, how much communication is being had from the defense. They've had to flip-flop because the strength changes. They've had to adjust because of the gap standpoint. That changes. All of that is predicated off of the initial tackle over, unbalanced. Now we're going from 3-by-1 to DT, 2-by-2. A lot going on here. But if this was a running play, you would still have some holes here. But obviously it's a pass play. And what I was saying was this. Protection got a little shaky, and that's ultimately why I wasn't able to be as successful as they would have liked. But you can see that is a Matt Canada staple. He loves moving around pre-snap, whether it's guys just going from one side of the field to the other side of the field in terms of a shift. If it's a motion, jet sweep action, we see that a lot in Matt Canada's game. All right, now this last play, we're going to see another part of the Matt Canada, just pre-snap, shift, motion, some of the things that he likes to do. And we'll see, well, even though this play wasn't as effective as it could have been, it definitely had the potential to be a very successful run play. So once we start this thing out, you have Al starting out on the right-hand side as a, not even an extra O-lineman here, but he's actually lined up as a tight end. It starts out in a 2-by-2 set. Okay, so it was Ray out, or no, I think it's Deontay right here. So Deontay and Al was lined up as a tight end on this side. Then you have Vance McDonald here and Chase Claypool. But the thing that's unique about this is it's an extra O-lineman on the field right now. So you see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 O-linemen. This is Gerald Hawkins right here, the extra O-lineman, okay? So once again, conversations have to be had. You know it's extra lineman out here, but this is your starting left tackle in Al Villanueva. He's on the right-hand side. Antennas are going up. So now the defense has to adjust. So now we shift Al from being at the tight end spot on the right side to now he's lined up at his normal left tackle position. So it goes from the 2-by-2 initially to now it's a 3-by-1 with the extra O-lineman. Because once again, that's Hawkins right there. So you got 1, 2, 3 with the XO, and then you got Deontay on the backside. So antennas have to go up. More information, because we know you can throw out of this, and typically when you bring in an extra lineman, you are looking to throw the ball because you want to have some better protection. But at the same time with the extra lineman, you know that heavy run alert can go up as well. So as the Eagles on defense, these are all the things you're having to think about. These are all the adjustments you're having to make pre-snap. Now we add another element to this thing. So we started out extra lineman, tackle over, to now we're going, or excuse me, extra lineman, but Al was aligned on the opposite side at tight end to balanced regular formation, 3-by-1, still extra lineman. And now we're going to throw in a little bit of a motion by Chase Claypool. I mean, this thing just keeps getting better and better. So now you get the motion, but he chops it, not jet sweep motion initially. But now on the chop right here by Claypool, now he's bursting back across jet sweep motion, right? We said with Canada, pre-snap shifts, motions, loves the jet sweep action though, okay? So now off the jet sweep action, their eyes have to go on this guy as well, and you get a backside pull by Dotson. So all of that window dressing essentially got them in this position right here. As I pause this tape, this is beautiful. You got a hat on a hat. You got Chase right there. This is all muddied up in here. You have Vance on this backer. So essentially now you're going to have James Conner, who's right here, on the safety, one-on-one. This is, I mean, if you're an offensive coordinator, this is how you draw it up. You want this look right here. Problem though, we don't hold our blocks over here. So we're not going to name, but as you can see right here, 47 is able to spin out. And now, instead of it being one-on-one James versus the safety 10 yards away in this alley, now you get this flash of color, 2-on-1. James ultimately aborts running down the middle of this right here, tries to bounce it, and now it's not as effective. But that was solely based on not being able to finish the block that we initially had. But all of the window dressing to get them in this particular look, this is beautiful. This is what Matt Canada brings to the table though. Tackle over, extra lineman, gonna go from that to now we're gonna bounce it up 3x1, extra lineman still though. Then we're gonna give you motion away, jet sweep action back, backside pull, and we get hat on a hat, hat on a hat. This is the look. We just didn't finish this in here. But it's there for Matt Canada, man. You can see it right there, man, just in some of these plays. These are heavy Matt Canada staples, man. This goes back to, like I said, him at all of his collegiate locations as the offensive coordinator. That's what he likes to do. Now, granted, collegially, he was a lot more heavy on some of the pre-snap shifts and motions. And granted, he wasn't the OC last year, so we only saw sprinkles and little remnants from what he likes to do. But going forward, we should expect to see a lot more of this type of pre-snap action. And we've already seen the benefits of it, especially when you're talking about an O-line that could be going through some growing pains early on in the season. So that being said, let me know how you feel about Matt Canada and the potential of this offense. If you're excited about it, if you're nervous about it. But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. And until next time, baby, peace.